So on Friday, you took your mid-module 2 test, which was 2.1 all the way to 2.15. So of course today it makes sense that we would continue with module 2, lesson 16. Now, if you were to say the first half, the first mid of the module, the first half of the module 2, what was the main topic? What was the main topic? Like, I know we did area model and standard algorithm and estimation, decimals and whole numbers and conversions, but the main topic that all of that had to do with was what? Everyone? Multiplication. Yeah, we did multiplication of whole numbers, of decimals. We used lots of different strategies. We also used multiplication to help us convert measurements. Yes? Yeah. Now the second half, we are going to be talking about the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. Okay, so the next lessons that we're having over the next few weeks, you can expect they'll all be about division. So today, as you might expect, your learning goal is about division. And so your learning goal today is to use what you know about place value, which you know a lot about place value, to help us divide by multiples of 10. Let's review really quickly. What does it mean to be a multiple of 10? Martin?
Like a number that starts with 10, but then if you just keep on adding 10, you get to that number.
Yeah, like 10 times something is a multiple of 10. How can I tell if a number is a multiple of 10? Jonathan? It ends with 1 or more zeros. Yes? Good. To begin today's lesson, we're going to divide, and we're going to go all the way back to what we learned in Module 1 about how to draw discs in the place value chart, okay? If we're going to take 300 and divide it by 10, let's draw 300 in the place value chart. Okay, so here I have my ones, here I have my tens, here I have my hundreds. What would be over here?
Thousands.
Thousands, good. Okay, so go ahead and draw yourself a place value chart and label it just like that. Now that we have our place value chart, if I have 300, how many discs do I need to draw in the ones column?
0.
How many discs do I need to draw in the tens column?
0.
How many discs do I need to draw in the hundreds column?
3.
3. Okay, so let me draw my 3. So here's a 100 disc, here's a 100 disc, and here's a 100 disc. Yes? Okay. Now when I divide this first 100 disc by 10, what's 100 divided by 10? 10. So it becomes a 10 disc. Yes?
Yeah.
What about this 100? When I divide this 100 by 10, what do I get? 10? Okay, so that one becomes a 10 disc too. And I have one more 100. When I divide this 100 by 10, what do I get? 10. So therefore, what do I have left? How many hundreds do I have? How many hundreds do I have left? 0. How many tens do I have left? How many? 1, 2, 3. How many ones do I have left?
0.
So what is 300 divided by 10?
30.
30. Okay, nice. Let's try it again. Remember from Module 1, when I divide a number by 10 or by 100, or by whenever I divide a number by a multiple of 10, it moves to the right. So this 10,000, if I'm going to divide it by 100, if I moved it here, it would be dividing by 10. If I move it here, it'd be dividing by 100. So I'm going to move it there. Okay. Now these 8 dots, if I'm going to divide it by 100, I need to move it 1, 2, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see what we're left with. How many ones do we have?
0.
Okay. How many tens do we have? 8. How many hundreds do we have?
1.
So 18,000 divided by 100 is 180. We also know that moving the digits to the right is the same thing as shifting the decimal point to the left, right? So in this original number, the decimal point was here, yes? In 18,000. Now we know when we divide by 100, we shift the decimal point how many spots to the left? 2. So we end up with what number? Is that the same thing as when we shifted the decimals or the digits to the right? Yeah. What about down here? Let's check this one out. Okay, this one down here. I know it's small. When we had 300 divided by 10, the decimal point was originally after the last 0 here, yes? And when we divide it by 10, how does the decimal point need to move? 1 place to the left. So what is the new number? 30. Is that the same thing that happened down here when we shifted all the digits to the right? So moving the digits to the right is the same thing as shifting the decimal to the left. let's review really quick. What are the different parts of a multiplication or a division problem? This part is called the what? What do we call this part? Nope. The whole. Because it's the whole amount that we start out with before we start dividing. Okay, what do we call the second number? Divisor. Good. Okay. And what do we call the last part, the answer? Quotient. Good. Now I want you to see if you can notice a pattern. In my whole, how many zeros did I have for the first problem? 2. I had 2 holes, okay? I mean 2 zeros. 1 hole, 2 zeros. In my divisor, how many zeros did I have? 1. So over here I had 2 zeros. In my divisor I had 1 zero in my multiple of 10. And in my quotient, how many zeros did I have? 1. Huh, okay. What about in my second problem? How many zeros did I have? 3. In my divisor, how many zeros did I have? 2. And in my quotient, how many zeros did I have? 1. What patterns do you notice? We can see how many multiples of 10 or how many zeros are in the whole and take away or cross out however many holes or however many zeros are in the divisor, and that will tell us how many zeros or how many multiples of 10 need to be in the quotient. Do you see that? So because 2 minus 1 equals 1 and 3 minus 2 equals 1. Do you see that? Okay. When we have a problem like this, we can think of 200 as two parts, right? So a 2 and 100. Do you guys agree that 2 times 100 equals 200? Right? So therefore, we can think of this problem as 18,000 divided by 100 and then divided by 2. Do you see how those two parts are like that? Okay. Even though 200 is 2 times 100, because we're dividing, we need to divide by both parts, which is divide by the 100 part first, and then divide by 2. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. Now let's just do 18,000 divided by 100. What part is the whole? 18,000. What part is the divisor? Okay, so Grishma, how many zeros are in the whole?
3.
How many zeros are in the divisor? 2. So how many zeros will be left in the quotient? Okay, good, because 3 zeros divided by 100. If I have 18,000 and I divide it by 100 and I cross out 2 of those zeros, what is my quotient? 180. Do you guys see how that works? Yeah. Am I done? No. I still have this part over here, right? So I have to do 180 divided by 2, which is, everyone? 90. Very good, because 18 divided by 2 is 9, and I still have one multiple of 10. So therefore, 18,000 divided by 200 is 90. We can see that these two problems are related because they all have the same numbers in the same order, yes? However, the first problem, the divisor is 200, and in the second group, the divisor is 2,000, so that it's 10 times bigger. If I'm sharing something by 10 times more people, the quotient or the amount each person is going to get is 10 times less. So these two problems are related because the second answer is 10 times less than the first answer because the quotient, or what is this part called?